All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely, lovely afternoon in which the Most High Yahweh has made. And I, Sister Deborah, share, and I will rest therein. I'm smiling because it's still on my mind what I was saying to this young man, not young man, he's older than I am. And I was just talking to him, hadn't heard from him in a long time. And both of us worked for the prison system, the minimum and maximum. There were 3 prison systems. I worked before he got hired. I was there before he got hired. And I was just talking with him regarding the situation that I'm about to have and needing him to be as security. Okay. And him and I was just talking, and I'm smiling because I think about what we were talking about. And I found myself speaking with such great power and authority on topics that we were discussing. And it's just still in me, the joy that it brings to me to know that Yah's ways is not our ways, and we wants to set his ways so much like ours, where we are willing to lie to people that Yah has okayed the ways of the flesh. And he already let you know. He does not have no connection to the flesh. It's only spirit. But people who are born of the flesh, they will continue to live out the ways of the flesh. The things that has connection strictly to only the flesh. You'll never see them pull up in the spirit realm, in spirit and truth. So as I was just talking to him, it felt really good to talk to someone that is already in that type of space, that knows all, of this. And for me to be speaking to him, it was so nice because you're speaking to someone that have poured up in that type of space. And it just felt good. Sharing with him some things, and as I was sharing with him, I felt the Father was teaching me in the process. But so much for that. This video it's going to be all about a little here, a little there, a little up, a little down. It's going to be all around. It's going to be talking about many of topics, and I want to also bring you to a place that you have never gone before. And it's okay, because that joy is so lit up in me that I am ready to preach the gospel, which is the power of who the Most High Yah is. And I will say this, that the things that I have learned since I've been off this devil platform has been off the chain. Things that the Father has revealed to me, and he began to tell me it is not important that it is not his will that the things he shares with me and he gives me, I feel compelled to give it to those who are on my platform, or not my platform, but on the devil's platform, but on the page in which I conduct my ministry here on YouTube. He said it's not important. He said, because if I haven't given them the eyes to see and the ears to hear again, then therefore, no matter what you say, they can't see nor can they hear. And that's just it, Deborah. So it does something to me for the comforter to repeat things that he has already taught me. And that is such a blessing when the Father can still constantly tell you things that he have already told you. But he does it because of what he feels about you and him in you. He wants you to not go out here blind, go out here and can't hear. So he makes sure you are lining up with the things that are of the spirit, that teaches spirit and truth. So a lot of things he was sharing with me, it is not important to share with others. So that's what really caused me to kind of back away, because a few minutes ago, I was talking it to a young man, not a young man, he's older than I am, but I still say a young man. And I was talking to him about building up treasures on the earth and why the mindsets are so far from or desiring it. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I told him. I told him that the Father said that if they are not for you, then they are not for me. So they can take their ears and their eyes elsewhere, because if they thought that this is about the flesh seeing and the flesh hearing, this is why they're so lost in the things that Sister Deborah is saying, and not able to embrace what Sister Deborah is saying, is because they are born of the flesh. See, the flesh take care of the flesh, but they that are in the flesh need to stay away from those that are born of the Spirit. I think it is so important, the individual on this devil platform, even at the sound of my voice, if you are born of the flesh, be that and be good at that. But don't come over to the area to where people are born of the Spirit reside, because you have nothing in common. So this here is what Sister Deborah have learned since she been off the devil platform in the last 3 or 4 days. I've been able to really embrace a lot of things that the Spirit of the Father is constantly revealing to me and instilling in me, that I may fully grip why things are the way that it is. And it just felt good talking to someone that was on that same level already. It wasn't that I was teaching this individual anything. That individual was already there. So that's why I was smiling when I first came on. I was just sharing with him how the mindsets that's in the flesh is so separate from the mindsets in the Spirit. Because if the Most High wants one to know that there's a difference between he that is born of the Spirit and he that's born of the flesh, as to why one support not the one born of the Spirit, but will support everything in their family, everything in their church, in their community, and everything in the flesh, and not understand that that's the reason why you support the flesh, because you are of the flesh. You support only the Spirit when you are born of the Spirit. That's the difference. So him and I laughed at that, and I got a little joy and a little happy, because you were dealing with someone who already was fully aware of it and kind of schooled you on, yep, that's so true because it did. So again, my topic is a little here, a little there, a little up, a little down, a little all around. But the reason why it's going all around is because Yah has been dealing with me all around. He's been dealing with me identifying who's who and what's what. And just think, y'all, why should I share that with you all, what he has given me in the spirit realm? Why would you even be on this page listening to what I have to say to those that are born of the Spirit? Why would you be in tuning in? Why would you be even partaker? See, people are in the dark, doing things in the dark, you see, while pretending they are in the light. But what they don't understand, the Most High Yah has schooled his. That means he has given them the tools to work and to travel the journey in which he has called them on. And it's to be wiser than the serpent. You see why? Because the serpent is coming to snap at you and to you, to destroy you with his venom, because it feels you don't see him. But the thing about it with me is, if I continue to speak spirit and truth, guess what? It's going to kill the snake regardless. Because the snake cannot continue on the side of that which is spirit and truth. Why? Because spirit and truth venom is let's say 25 times deadly than the serpent and his bite. So to me, A lot of things is being portrayed, and the time that I've been off, the short few days, it is so much that has been shared with me, and here it is. I'm about to put it forth. But I want to let you know I'm still talking to the elects. I'm still talking to the anointed ones of the Most High Yah. So with that being said, I'm hoping that the Father will suffer it to appear, even if it's that one. That is what that one means, the one. Because when you see Yeshua talking about those who's going to gain eternal, he always call them as one. He don't call them as many. The lamb book, not books. The sheep, not sheeps. So what I'm trying to get you all to understand, it is in one. So me saying that one, just that one, is the way, it's the one of righteousness, y'all. Okay? It's the oneness in righteousness. You see what I'm saying? So that's who I'm here for. Okay? I'm for those that have an ear to hear and an eye to see exactly what the prophetess in the wilderness is saying and speaking regarding. Okay, so let's go there. I want to first and foremost give the Most High Ahaya, all glory, all honor, and praise that's due him. He is the excellent one. He is the perfect one. He is the great one. He is the wonderful one. He's the all-knowing one. He is the most powerful one. You know, he is all that on top of that. And he's going to remain just that. So anything or any way that people want to line him up that does not compare to that, stand down with it, clown, and ride on to the next video. Okay, so I want to say another thing that's very important that I need to share as something that was revealed to me. I want to share with you all how Satan and demons are in tune with the Most High Yah. And going back to tell you, being a student of the Ruach HaKodesh is one that submits to the power and the authority of who he is, who he was, and who he's going to be. You have people teaching here today on these platforms and been on here for years. The only thing they want you to do is focus on them as an individual, their page, their likes, their subscribers, and who they are. Minds are more so geared to the Most High Yah and his power and his spirit of spirit and truth. If you can say, well, okay, Sister Deborah is always talking about her, and me, then you don't belong on this page. You're seeing all the sin that rests in DDD. Sister Deborah has always been here to try to turn the mindsets, the hearts of people back into the Father. The Father explained to me that it is not something that I can do. I can speak, their spirit can hear and be converted. Outside of that, they cannot be converted in the flesh realm. That means they can hear me, they can see me, but that's not going to convert them. You see? That's not going to convert them. Because they got to be converted in the spirit, not in the flesh. Okay? So, what he was sharing with me, and I'm going to start with this one because I think this topic is very important, is the Father was sharing with me how Satan, the demons, the angels, whether they're fallen angels, as they say, or whatever kind of wicked angels, he wants me to let you know that throughout times, especially in this day and time, many people focus on the Nephilims, the fallen angels, the demons, Satan, the devil. When Father wants me to clear up something to those that are elect who might be still confused, and this would open up the door the front door, which he will let you in because you have gotten locked out of the house. And being locked out of the house means you have taken on the belief of the world to where your keys got lost. Now you can't put the key in the door and open it up and go on in. So the Father says that even though you elect, he can still yet open up the doors if you come knocking. He'll know you'll knock. He know who you are. The knocking is saying, I lost my keys. I lost my way. Can you let me in? Those are for the elects, those who are serve the Most High Yah in spirit and truth. Now, this is what he shared with me. And this is for the elects that might be locked out of the front door. The Father was sharing with me that the people in the world, the flesh of man, believes that Satan, the demons, the Nephilims, the fallen angels, are their way of justifying wicked and evil. Wicked and evil. So he wants you to know that that's not it. And it's not going to get you anywhere. You're going to ride on that until you're 6 foot under. And when you leave from there, your place and your destiny is only in one other place. What this is doing is separating the tare from the wheat from the tare as well. Some has grown in and proclaimed to be the wheat. But he said, no, he already know who's who and what's what. But we are in a time period of where things are being separated by the power of my Father's right hand, which is wonderful. And he was explaining to me that Satan, the devil, demons, the fallen angels, the Nephilims, and all these things that the mouth of men is leaning firm toward to be the evil that they have lied. What I've learned the days that I have been off is that those are still creations in the mighty right hand of the Father. He's saying that they can't see beyond seeing because they're serving the flesh. If the elect get caught in serving the flesh, they must come and knock continually on the door as if they need the door open to get in, meaning the Most High Yah to let them in because they have lost their keys. They lost their keys because of so many platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, CNN, NBC, TBN, all these platforms, all these worldly sites has drawn them to where they misplaced their keys to the door of the Most High Yah. And he said that he wants us to understand that this is not about Satan. This is not about the demons, the devil, the Nephilims, the fallen angels. He said the world loves to use the fallen angels to the point where everything they doing is connecting them to the fallen angels. Now you see in the year 2023, everybody is leaning to the fallen angels as the issue. He said now why they're falling and causing all of this as if all of it wasn't orchestrated before the foundation of the world. So what they didn't understand, because they never understood Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, where my power was the creator of everything, even the garden that I place good and evil. He said, we have as flesh. And he ain't speaking of me, because I know he's speaking of me because he shared it with me a long time ago. And he just refreshing me to also be able to speak it as bold as I am speaking it. They're really thinking that all of these things that they are using to justify, clarify, and identify their sin, their wicked, their evil, their abomination, their fornication, their adultery, their murderer, their stealing, their disrespectful of parents, their hate, that they're training the men at a high level of how to hate. Hate comes from Satan's way of doing things. And if you got the hate, it's not because Satan got you hating. You are hated. You are a hateful spirit that came down here, molded as a potter of the clay to teach 99.9 men's heart how to hate. And not just men, there's women that also has a spirit of hate. But these people are not of the Most High Yah. They are of the flesh, meaning of the world. They're not in the world, but not of it. They are of the world. So their whole purpose of coming down here, that's why they can't shake it. They can't shake that everything they're teaching, the flesh of men and women, has to do with the flesh. They can't shake their whole mindset of preparing heaven on earth for them and theirs. They can't shake none of that. So they live with it, making it right and making you wrong. That's the only way they can survive. If they can say, see what I got, see what I'm doing, see what I'm doing. And none of it has anything to do with building up treasures in the heavens, giving to the poor in spirit, supporting the elects of the Most High Yah. It has only to do with them and their flesh seeing to it that they can build their tower and their heavens here on earth. So these are people who are born of the flesh. And he said they have a great deal to deal with because they uses Satan, the devil, demons, the fallen angels, and Nephilims, and all these things that they use to justify their wicked and evil, who they are, who they were when they got down here, who they're planning on being in the days to come. That's why he said that nowadays you see everything is a fallen angel. Oh, the fallen angel doing this, the fallen angel doing this, the fallen angels doing this, and the devil doing this, and Satan doing this, demons doing this, and demons doing that. And the Father is saying to you all, whatever happened to the part of you that's going to stand before the altar? Do you think I'm going to look over at Satan, the demons, the devils, the fallen angels, and say, look what you did to them? No, they're going to already be where they were assigned, just like you. You were already assigned before the foundation of the world. So when you see your ugly self today and think that the ways of your flesh is being manifested on this earth is the ways of Yah, when Yah knew you before the foundation of the world, and the way you came down here is the way you are today, there's no change going to come for you. There's no change in you. It's just like I explained to y'all. It is a strong delusion. When Yah has to put a strong delusion, you are where you at for eternal. Right now, it looks like you living good, on high haul, got everything for me and mine. Y'all ain't never told us it was about me and mine. He never told Sister Deborah it's about you and your children. So get and prepare for them and go. You see, that's their mindset. And Yah is not coming to switch that mindset, because he said, Deborah, the way they came down here, they came with that mindset. That's why they're living that same mindset that they came down here with. So he was saying that it's not the devil, it's not the demons, it's not Satan, it's not the fallen angels that has to control over the beginning and the end. He wants you to know that same right hand that I've told you all to do your search about. Get in that book and study in that study guide. Find out who that right hand and that stretched out arm is, and it'll bring you to a closure. But no one wants to do that. Why? Because it tells the truth on them. And it makes them the liar from the beginning. People do not want, and I'm just not talking about people on this platform. I'm talking about people in their families, in their workplace, in their schools, in their churches, in their temples, in their church form, or in their cult, in everything. They don't want to pretend. They don't want to participate in spirit and truth. They want the part that causes them to look right, to feel right, to be right, to live right, and to deceive as many to see their righteousness and their belief as possible. That's why they look forward to receiving something from the devil's platform, because it limits them in what they say and what they do and how they portray, because they don't teach you spirit and truth. They teach you what pleases their flesh so that they can still get a check at the end of the month. Now, this is the key. The Father was sharing with me. He said, Deborah, when you go up in Revelation, the river that's going to dry up, what did I say coming up? What did I say to the angel that I gave the key to the bottomless pit. Tell me who's going to come up and destroy the two witnesses. And I say, Father, you're releasing them to come up out of the hell. See? So what you all are thinking you're nailing everything, you got every pinpoint, all the devil this, the demons this, the fallen angels, the Nephilim, all Satan, the beast, the Antichrist, the false prophet. He said that's a way of escape for many people, Deborah. Because they never want to learn or live spirit and truth. That's why they right where they need to be. Following behind not only their lies and their deception. Some people have lied to themselves and lived their lie all these years to point their lie is the truth and the truth is the lie. He began to tell me about, did you see what I was going to pull up with? Didn't I tell you about the horses and who they think pulling up? I'm telling them that's my right hand power, and they still making it their lie, leading the people that, it's the fallen angel, it's the devil, and it's a this and it's the that. No. This is what he told me to tell you all. Satan, the devil, which is the devil, demons, and angels that has fallen, and those still yet on the earth. He said he wants you to know they are obeying. They are obeying. They are obeying his will. He said, now when I gave you Revelation 20, and you saw how the sea and the earth fled at the face of he that sat on the throne. This is how Satan, the demons, the fallen angels, as they say, the angels that's on earth, the angels that beneath the earth, all of them are in tune with me, my power, my right hand, my stretched out arm, and me as the authority over all things. So he said Satan is not doing his will. He's keeping my will. Fallen angels can't fall and control they will. He said that's the flesh of man trying to find an escape way to continue to deceive you all, to manipulate you all, because they need as many as possible to head to the narrow gate. And that's the only way, is to show you the dark way and make you think that the darkness is taking over, when Yah wants you to know he started and he's going to end it. Praise somebody, Yah. He wants me to say this to you. If he started one way, don't think the end way is not in his mighty hand. You all going to keep being deceived, because this being deceived is in you. You are created to be deceived. Even the deceivers were brought to the earth, were allowed down on the earth. But they ain't coming down to just deceive just themselves. They need those that they can deceive. And that's what you see on this devil platform. When you hear Sister Deborah say on this devil platform, it is deceive. Everybody is taking on the characteristics of how Satan conduct himself. Satan sitting over in the corner and say, they blame me for this, did. And all I'm doing is the Father's will. So the will that you see these people out here conducting themselves, making laws and rules and regulations and separating themselves from the order of spirit and truth, and making you think life is about how you hem up flesh and the ways of the flesh, which you find fornication, adultery, porno, raping, sodomy, molesting, robbing and killing and stealing. Just everything is falling under that. But what they lean to is Satan and the demons and the fallen angels. They blame everything on them to justify what is in them. The Father wants you to know what is in you, what was created for you. You see? So therefore, you came from heaven being of the flesh. And of the flesh, you live of the flesh. So therefore, you have eaten out of the garden of good and evil, even to this day. Because this is what you represent. So if you think that you can bring the ways of the flesh into the spirit of Yah, he said it can't be done. So don't teach people that your fleshly ways are anointed by the Ruach HaKodesh or is of the spirit realm. No, keep that nasty flesh ways and the things you do nasty, wicked and evil, fornication, adultery, and all this stuff that you doing evil. Keep it in the flesh. Don't bring and park your tail nowhere near spirit and truth, because they have nothing in common. We are against one another. That's why we can't come on. When you wondering why is it nobody can unify, come together and group, that's because there's too much of wicked and evil in darkness portraying the light, and everybody's following that way. To those that are spirit and truth, they just hanging on themselves. Why? Because they keep seeing the light. They seeing and finding the way to the narrow gate. They ain't got time to find the way to your way, which is the broad gate. And this is where the problem is at. The broad gate is open wide, and very many shall go therein, which the narrow gate, he said, very few, Deborah, shall find. And this is the truth that I speak it. You're not going to find it. You're going to hear it spoken, and it's going to go straight over your head, and you're going to go right back to the narrow gate where you're comfortable, where your flesh is comfortable, and where it's suitable for you to reside. So the Father's wanting me to let you know it's not Satan doing anything to you. It's not the demons. It's not the fallen angels. It's not the Nephilims and all this wicked and evil in the spirit realm. He said that's not it. He said, I've prophesied how I'm going to have them coming up doing the work for me. This is how powerful that wicked and evil is still in the mighty right hand of the Father. But if you don't know about the right hand of the Father, that means you don't know Christ. You don't know Hamashiach. You don't know who is the head of the body. All you know is flesh, a flesh of man. And you're calling him God, and that's not true. But because you are found not knowing the one that was creating everything was separate from the creation of itself. He was creating it with the power that which he spoke it, his word. And his power brought it forth. So when you got confused and called the power the Son, the power the flesh, the power this and this and that, you got lost in Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2. Still today, the year 2023. And the Father want me to say this. You wasn't lost because you got lost. You was lost because you came down here to remain lost. To where when he sent his prophet to speak, everything should go over your head. Everything I say should go over your head. Everything. Why? Because back in the days when the prophet spoke, not the prophetess, but the prophet spoke, they were so against them to where they decided to destroy them, to kill them. Why? Because truth. See how truth don't need no one on its left and on its right. It's going to stand up by itself. So if you can kill this prophet, so what? Truth going to still stand. You can kill this prophet, so what? Truth going to still stand. You can kill this prophet, so what? The light going to shine. You see, so you can't take away who Yah is. You can take away who he sent to be his mouthpiece, but every time you take one away, he going to pull up with another. And that's life as you see it today. And all this wickedness, this heavy demonic darkness, wickedness and evil. Everybody want to clamp that on to Satan, the devil, the demons, the fallen angels. But Yah said you's a liar. And you're going to remain a liar. And that's the same place they will go. You shall meet them there. Because what they're doing is they're giving you this idea of these are the things that's causing you to do the things that, no, these are the things that's causing evil and wicked. And you have not looked within yourself and realized evil and good was in the garden. Evil and good was in the garden. So don't think that evil and good is still not in the garden of your life. Because it comes there to remain there until Yah destroy it at the end. But what was in Adam and Eve was their mission before they came down. That's why they chose to bypass the tree of life, the other trees, and go over to that tree because their destiny was for that tree. And you and I cannot change that. And that's the whole instructions and direction book. The Holy Spirit is not coming to change that book or to come to make you see it in a way that pleases your outer man. He's coming to live in you to teach you from A to Z. Not from A to B, B to A to B, B to A, where people are found pleasure being up under the loud mouth of men and women that's teaching them how to nourish their flesh understanding, their flesh wisdom, and their flesh knowledge, along with their flesh emotions and their flesh feelings, which come witchcraft and sorcery. This is what is happening. This is what is among people. So the key to what he wants me to say to you is, you are a liar if you want to blame everything on Satan, the devil, which is the same, the demons, and the Nephilims, the fallen angels. He said, think about Revelation. Who sung them horses? When the river dry up, it is the mighty right hand of the Father. Didn't he say he gonna pull up something coming up out of there? Who you think that's coming up from the pit? What do you think he's getting ready? Who do you think come kill the 3 prophets? Those that's down in the bottomless pit. He's gonna open it up and send one to come that's mightier than the 2 prophets to destroy them. Because ain't nobody else gonna want to destroy them because they gonna know the power of Yah is in them. So he's gonna bring something from underneath. The Euphrates river drying up. Then he said he's gonna bring something up. Who brought the 4 horses for death? Famine. See, we didn't never know the power in Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2. We took on the power of ugly mouthed men over the spirit and truth of Yah. As you go on in Revelation and you start to see these things, because he said, now, wasn't you shocked? Yes, I was, Father Yah. I was shocked in Revelation 20 when it says that the sea and the earth fled away from he that sits on the face of he that sits on the throne and never to be seen. What are you fleeing for? And what's wrong with you? Why are you running out here like that? Because we don't know the power of who our Father is. Just to look upon him. Satan ain't got time to give you some more idea. He's not going to be dragged or chained, and he's not going to be forced and fight to go back to hell. The Antichrist, the false prophet, no. As you read it, and the Ruach will reveal to you, they're going willingly. So this fight up here that you all are making the devil, the demons, evil and wicked, and no, not even wicked, the devils, the demons, the Antichrist, the false prophet, the fallen angels, the heathens, the Gentiles, we're giving them too much power to be the power over us. When they're not the power that rules the will of my Father. It has always been my Father before the foundation of the world. He is the one that orchestrated the beginning, and you best bet the end and everything in between. So if you think for 1 minute that the power that be's, the fallen angels, the Nephilims, the what you call them, the aliens, which there have always been, the heathens, the Gentiles, the elites, and all these here power that rules the world, the Roman Catholic, the Pope, they have no power over my Father, a higher, also known as Yahweh. They have no power over that right hand and that stretched out arm. Y'all just too blind to grip that. I noticed that it makes so much sense him revealing that to me, to the point where This is why evil and wicked is so heavy on the earth. It's because men and women are trying, especially men, are using the fallen angels, the Nephilims, Satan, the beast, the Antichrist, the demons, the devil. They making all of them the reason why things are what it is today. People who teaches you those things are people not like unto Sister Deborah. Sister Deborah knows where the power controls. I know that what we're having and things that's happening today is not of the power of anything of Satan's and the Antichrist. They're still on my Father's hour. Oh yes, get a grip. That shows you're lost and you're going to stay lost. Because what you're all doing is you're justifying one evil and wicked and hateful, justifying with another. That's why you see men won't own up to nothing wrong. They trying to teach men to live about the flesh. They trying to teach men how you supposed to be ruling. Round about this hour, I wouldn't want to be ruling nobody. Round about this hour, I don't want nobody submissive to me. No way do I want to be a king, leader, or ruler. I only want to be what the Spirit of Yah has called me. Nothing more and nothing less. And when he call you with a Holy Spirit, you're going to be called either to be on the spirit of eternal life or the spirit for damnation to the lake of fire. That's what they're not getting, you guys. And he already let you know. It's only a few of them going to find the way to eternal life. You keep running your tails around here and believing the loudmouth flesh of men teaching you, come follow me. This is the way. Don't you see what I got? Don't you see what I'm building? Don't you see what I'm accomplishing? This is the way. I'm strong, mighty. And then all these verses from Isaiah all the way to Revelation letting you know. Deuteronomy 28, the last chapter in Torah, lets you know, I'm taking your tails out. You think you bad. You think you tough. You think you got it, what it takes to defeat my mighty will. Satan is not even treating y'all like that. Satan is like, okay, is it okay if I do this? Yes, do that. It's already prophesied. Do that, Satan. It's prophesied. Do that, Satan. It's prophesied. Demons, do this. It's prophesied. Angels, come up from out. Bam, it's prophesied. Oh, here, angel, take this down to the bottomless pit and open that place up. Bam, bring them up. You don't know the right hand of your own. No, he ain't yours. You don't know the right hand of my Father. Because he can rumble like that. And only way you know him is when he done taught you what took place before the foundation of the world. This is me. I rule this. This is why he knows the beginning to the end and everything in between. He said, I am the beginning and the end. Why are you all making Satan, demons, the flesh of men and the flesh of women, fallen angels? Why are we making them the end? And oh, they doing this, they doing. Y'all said you's a lie because you were created to be a liar. You were created for the lake of hell. And that's why you down here lying to people. You're not serving that which is spirit and truth. You're serving Satan and Satan's ways of doing things. You see, Adam and Eve, they skipped by eternal life. The tree of life. They skipped that one. And there was other trees. They skipped those too, y'all. They went straight to where they were predestined. Why were they predestined? Because heaven had to get the beginning rolling. Heaven already had it marked in and marked out that they would go to that tree and bring in sin. You never knew who the Father is. A lot of people out there are faking it until they make it. So let me go to the next level of what he has given me. We got a young lady named Simone. Simone is one who participates in, Simone is one that participates. Oh, I got to finish saying that. The Father wants you to know that everything Satan, the false prophets, the demons, the Antichrist, the heathens, the Gentiles, everything that everything is still going according to his will. So if it's going according to his will, when you think that his will knows the way. So why is it that people want you to say, no, it's this way, follow me? Wait a minute, hold up. Why ain't you directing the people to my Father's way that has already been prophesied? Why ain't you directing them to him so he can be their teacher? No, they don't want you to be directed to the Ruach HaKodesh because they want you to think that they are the teacher. They are the ruler. And then they try to smear everything up with Satan and demons and fallen angels. Why? Because they don't want to own that fire. And what thing is that? That my Father rules with that right hand power. That's what they don't want to own up to. And when they don't own up to stuff like that and don't teach people spirit and truth in this midnight hour, they are of the ways of Satan. Because see, Satan don't have no problem with going to the lake of hell. He's not going to fight y'all. See, that's what they don't understand. There's no war. There's not going to be a fight. There's not going to be a war and fight. He told us we fight against, he letting us know we fight against principality in high places. Now he done brought them places low. It's on the earth now, y'all. He done brought them all to the earth. That's Yah. That's Yah. He knows the principality in high places is still yet his creation. You think you can write a book and you not be the author of the beginning of it? Meaning the one that wrote the beginning to the end and everything in between is you. So what makes you think that Yah is not the beginning and the end, which he keep telling y'all? I am the beginning. I am the end. That means anything that's going on in the world and going on after, on down to tomorrow and on is his right hand. You just still born of the flesh to really get a grip of that. Praise the mighty Yah. Now he was showing me Simone. Simone has sold her spirit over at a very young age because she did not have the backing of her own father. She did not have those that were in her life that would uphold her to be just an Olympic gymnastics. Instead, she wanted to take on a greater level than the gift of God's level that had given her. So therefore, it wasn't because he didn't know she would take that side. But I want to share with you all, she is so hurting her inner man because she have sold her spirit out to Satan. She had to leave her husband and go back and compete, even when she had left, call herself retiring from it. When you sell yourself over Oprah, Tyler Perry, a lot of them, 99.9 of Negroes that's on this on different medias and famous, they have sold their spirit over, and this is why evil has taken on dominion over them, and they know they can't. There's no way out. It's really no way out, y'all. And that's the sad part for me, to know that Beyonce and Jay-Z sold themselves. And what did the power want from them? They wanted to sacrifice also their firstborn. That's why you see Beyonce daughter pulling up into the world sight. You see Kanye daughter, same way. When they sign their lives over, spiritual and natural, to the power that bees, they're signing it over, saying you're gonna inherit my firstborn. So that's why Kanye is chasing his ex-wife about the daughter, and he already know he sold his daughter over to the darkness. And that's everybody that's in this lifestyle. Their firstborn, look at Jada and Will, their first two were sold over to this demonic spirit, to where you sell to this evil power. You sold yourself, then your first children But with Jada and them, they were so deep in it, both of their children went down that lane. You notice Will had a son separate from them. He didn't go down that lane. Why? Because it wasn't a unity of a man and his wife signing over to that wickedness, to where the wicked could have his son. So that was his firstborn. But when Jada and him signed over to the wickedness, it took his 2 children. And that's why his 2 children follow darkness. See, you yourself sells your children over as well as yourself. A lot of people don't know that, and they don't care. They just figure that we're gonna live this life the way the world live it, and how I can have this, I can have this, I can get this, I can get this, I can have this, and they don't even understand. Like I told y'all a while back, I think about, and the reason why I was smiling when I first started, I was thinking about, I gave that testimony to my Joe, which is a man that's going to be my security at this location. And I was explaining to him how y'all had suffered one of the YouTubers to come to my house, to my presence. And the father told me, I told them to do this. I told them to donate this. And they donated this. And I was like, wow. They didn't understand. They only donated what they would have to pay for a rental car and a hotel. So they only donated what they would have had to pay out. They don't understand it mentally, because when you're born of the flesh, a lot of people, even those that's in the church, they think they spiritual. But what happened is your lifestyle, how you conduct your heart, where your heart really leads to. And if you don't, like, let's say for instance, if a person comes here and they reside here, okay, and they here for a length of time, transportation would be what they would have to get. Hotel would be what they have to get. They can't donate to you the fees of what they would have paid if they was in a location. Not if they're coming and y'all is sending them outside of y'all not sending them, but it is not the will of the Father. But he said, he told them to donate a certain amount. But they felt assured that they're going to donate what pleases their flesh, their hearts. So y'all told me, after they had left, he had told me, he said, now, they didn't give you what I told you to give you. So now you know who they are. And when he said that, I was like, those are good people. They sing. He said, Deborah, what would be the sense for a person to come to invade your space, which is holy, which is set aside? You are a servant set aside. Why would I even let them come to that presence of you? Reside for them to pay you what they would have paid if they had to stay in a hotel, or a transportation, a car, rent a car. He said, he was just showing me that they were of the flesh. And when he was saying that, he was saying, these are the things you have to be aware of. So I said, never will I do that again. Because I had no idea that the Father wanted them to donate. I had no idea until they gave, and then they left, and then the Father said, you ain't recognize something, you ain't noticed something. I said, no, that's not what I told them to give. So he schooled me. I had to be chastised, because I'm a person that has always been, if you don't give it, I'm fine. If you give, I'm fine. I'm not a person reminiscing on materialistic things. Those things are flesh. Now listen to what I'm saying. Those things are fleshly. You see what I'm saying? Finances are fleshly unless Yah is setting it up as your treasures in the heavens. Only he can do that. And how do he do it? He tells you from your heart, you have to obey his voice, not Sister Deborah, and do likewise. But what he's saying is so many faking it till they make it. And they thinking they are walking in by pretending that they are of the Spirit. But he said, he that is born of the Spirit is of the Spirit. He that's born of the flesh is of the flesh. And then you know what he said? Deborah, they don't think I know who's who. Because he, the potter of the clay, is the only one make one of the flesh and one of the spirit. So they go around atmosphere of those that they really need to stay away from. Because Yah is not sending you around somebody to be nosy, to be in the midst, to please your flesh. Because if it's your spirit, then your spirit would obey Yah's spirit in what he said you ought to donate. So I learned something that day, and it happened only once. I have a couple of times had visitors, but they were more visitors that wanted to come, and I sung for them, and I invited them in. You see what I'm saying? So it was people who was less fortunate, and I didn't have no problem with that because I felt that's what God was leading me to do. And I felt okay about it, and I didn't have no problem. But I said that, okay, Father, I won't get detached to any of that anymore, because in these people's mind is me, man, and I'm all righteous. They put the level of what they have up beyond Yah and don't even understand. When Yah know your heart, he will give you that which is your heart desires. And if your heart desire is me, and man, he said he shall give that to you because that's your portion. That's what Solomon was saying. If you have that type of blessing, that's your portion. Enjoy it. Because that's all you got coming. So he wants me to tell you about Simone. Simone has sold herself over. She is participating in one of the highest level of wicked that there is on the face of the earth, which is the one that rules the world. Okay? The type of evil that rules the world are ruled by Satan. Okay? Now, don't think Satan ain't been given them to rule. Because before y'all plant anything down on this earth, he already got it orchestrated in hell. Okay, Satan, I got a Lamb Book of Life. One book. Those are those who return. And over here, I got all these other books. Those are the ones gonna follow you. So while y'all thinking that y'all can clown, teach hate, get these silly women to follow behind your wicked ways, all these loudmouth, illiterate, and cursing mouth, and drinking, drunk, skunk of a men, and women falling behind them, Yah said to you, he don't have no problem with what you're doing. That's your portion. You were predestined for that. That's why you do it so well. Praise the mighty Yah. Simone has been elect as one of the sacrifices for the evil and wicked. She just sold herself totally over. And she didn't sell herself. Her parents sold her, and she sold herself. She assigned herself, not fully understanding, because she never had anyone around her to tell her, no, this is wicked and darkness that you're signing yourself to. So now she's starting to feel the effect when they took her from her husband and told her, we own you. Darkness owned you. And she had to go back and compete when she had got out and wanted to be a mother and have children. They told her, you are under our control. That's how they got her brother out of the trouble he was in. See, she was using all her power tokens. All the trouble he was in, he should have went to jail. But he got out. So a lot of things they used to show her that you are part of us. So we can use the power, the tokens that you have, to get things straightened out regarding your family. Like her brother was in a lot of trouble. And it's not the only time. I think her brother-in-law, I think, was in some trouble too, that they got him out. But this is the key. She is sold over. That is a spirit that has been sold over and birthed and born, predestined to be detached so the world can see. But the world can't see it because they see her doing gymnastics. When I see her today, she looks like that same little girl that started. They clothe her like that. They make her clothing and her hair look like she did when she first joined. Chaotic, not done right. Why? Because one thing that Negroes don't understand, one of the biggest things that they got over you is making you look the way they say you should look. They turn around and tell you that you should have your hair going all over the place and having all these dreads and having all this and that, and you go that route. And you look over and say, well, at least I ain't trying to get straight hair like the heathens, and I'm not looking like this. But tell me, between you on one side and me on another, I can bet you anything I got natural hair, but it'll look better than one of y'all dreadlocks or one of y'all styles. Because Sister Deborah can throw down when it come down to really styling hair. And I don't have to run around here like I just woke up with my hair sticking out like Jay-Z. They want Negroes to look like they crazy. And Negroes goes for it 24/24. Because they so easily deceive. Because they are deceivers. A lot of these people are walking around here, head look like a mop. And they don't have no problem with it. Because they want you to think that that's their history. That's not your history. Because it's the truth be told, you get an opportunity to see what they were doing in their promised land. You'll see. It don't look like dreads that you see today. No, it does not. And the women head that's wrapped don't look like these women heads that's wrapped. Don't look like mine that's wrapped. They got it so beautiful, style, matching. These women today, they look like slaves off a slave ship that the slaves have said, throw this here on. You're going to work for my field. That's how they look. And they don't know they look like that because the men is telling them this is the way you're supposed to dress. That's why the words out of these men's mouths are what you call stone cold evil and wicked. And the women, oh, this is the way they dress. Use a food, use a food, and use a food. You still walking in the slave master's whole orchestration of what you're supposed to dress like. Because while the tribe of Judah trying to wrap their head and look like slaves, that's who you look just like. You don't look like women that came in what that was in the promised land. No, you do not. I know they want you to think like that. And that's how the heathens and Gentiles controls you. By setting up the standards of the way you're supposed to look, the way you're supposed to dress. And you thinking it's your own nation dressing you. Baby, use a food, and use a food. All you have to do is put up the slave and how they had their heads wrapped and how they wore their clothes. And that's the same way the women are dressing now, like the slave owner have taught them. Not like their homeland. You's a liar. And so when I sit here and I'm listening to Yah said, you're going to purge the daughters of Zion. I asked him, I said, Father, you're purging the daughters of Zion and the baldness and the burning and the stank. But I also see you purging them from all these dress codes. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? Try reading, which you ain't going to never do. Because if you ain't read it, you ain't going to read it. That's just how far you are from anything called spirit and truth. In Isaiah 3, tells you how the woman going to be purged. And you're going to notice everything that the women are wearing today that calls themselves Hebrew Israelites and how they're looking, he's going to strip you from all of that. Oh, baby, you ain't going to have no wrap head when you go to the promised land. You see? You ain't going to have no wrap head. He said he's going to purge you from that. Because you never knew that was a code of men wanting you to look a certain way to make you think that's a part of your tradition. Never understanding. Let me look up really where the promised land and what they were doing back in them years. If you can find. You're so busy finding everybody who are not a part of the 12 tribes to be the tribe. And you don't even know who the 12 tribes is. That's how far from truth that your men in the house of Judah is. They so far distanced from anything spirit and truth. And this is why you're still in captivity and don't know it. You don't know you're still in captivity and it doesn't dawn on you because you're gone. That wait a minute, we still over here. The 400 years is over. What's going on? Yah is pulling fire. His anger is fierce to the point of seeing his will done. You ain't seen nothing yet because we still have not been judged. We still stupid. We still cursing the curse. Telling the Father, no, I'm going to get this. I'm going to have this and I'm going to have this. I'm going to make your curse a lie. We still thinking that we over succeed what he said in Deuteronomy as the end game. I ain't talking about the beginning of Deuteronomy. I'm talking about Deuteronomy chapter 19, Deuteronomy 28, chapter 19, all the way to the end. You destroy it. They won't teach y'all that. Y'all don't care if they don't teach it. When you should stand on every mountain and proclaim they come to the knowledge of your Father's truth. But y'all don't want that because you want to live a lie. And the moment Sister Deborah say something that brings out spirit and truth, that chastises you, that disciplines you, that correct what you've been taught all these years, you get mad at me. You think I care? Fly a kite and fly it high. That's if the wind suffered you too. But getting back to what I was saying. So Simone is one of those who have sold herself out. And I looked at it and I said, look at her hair. Went right back to what she never knew how to style her hair. That just all showing you she didn't have any type of Negro or how would I say it? Sight of what you should look like or how you should make yourself look decent. A lot of us think that we should supposed to have our head wrapped. We're supposed to walk around here with dresses, wiping up the floor, you know, and looking all uncoordinated and thrown, just stepping in here trying to look the road. The Father wants you to know you can look the road all you want. You can wrap your head up to the road. These men can wear their fringes. That's why you don't see those who are gaining in the world. They calling it spiritual gift, but it's the world gift. You've sold yourself to the world, and the world making sure you get everything you need. That means the wicked is going to make sure you get everything you need to be wickeder, and more and more and more. So it's no big thing about what you got, what you have, what you getting. That's nothing in the eyes of somebody like me that knows spirit and truth. You serving the world, and world's taking care of you. That's just it, because they in the world and you of the world. That's why you trying to build heaven on the earth, because you got the mindset of the people going your way. So you have become their God. So, but Simone, I hate that it had to happen, but the Father said this need be. And then he showed me where they have sealed her as one of the four corner seals, which is the goat. She's called now. They even put it on her outfit, a goat. When they address her, they said the goat has done it again. You see how low the Gentiles and the heathens are? You see the lowness of their wickedness? They out in the open. And they put a goat on this girl, and not one person stood up and said, hold up. Don't claim that, girl. Don't be a part of that, because her spirit and her flesh has been sold over to that which is in the garden. She hath chosen the tree of evil and good. He went on and telling me about let me get this here guy here. Let me get him. Ben Crump. He say that Negroes, they're lost because they run to Ben Crump as their attorney and don't know he is a chosen vessel of wicked and evil to stand on their behalf and role play. Okay? I don't care what you get out of it. That's why when he handled them, he always, you notice that the parents stop hooping and hollering and crying and marching. They don't be with the people marching. Why? Because he schooled them. You're going to get this. So play this out. This is to the media. This is how the power that bees want us to play this out. And he stands in the gap for the power that bees. So when Negroes thinking they got an attorney, you ain't got nothing, because y'all ain't sending nothing to help you outside of his servants to speak on his behalf, spirit and truth. That's all you got coming. That's all you got coming. You ain't getting nothing else but spirit and truth. And if you don't get that, you are born of the flesh and don't know it. Ben Crump is like unto what's his name? The two Al Sharp and Jesse Jackson. How they stepped in there to try to represent when something happened. They step in. Look how black people take to them. And they never do anything about them. Just like Obama stepped in as president, never done anything for black people. But that's how easy it is to step into dumb people. Negroes are dumb. They can't see. They can't hear. Because they have failed the Creator himself in every shape, form, and fashion. That has to do with righteous. So y'all say your curse ain't done yet, baby. You ain't seen nothing yet. I'm going to show you where we at today. And he says Ben Crump is set up. He is one of the elites of wicked and evil that's assigned to step in and support Negroes acting a fool. Okay? Mel Gibson, same way. Mel Gibson is paid by the elites to stir up nonsense. Like he's going up against Oprah and what's this other guy named? The Rock, whatever his name is, saying that they were partaker in sex slave. How stupid can Negroes get? Negroes will go for that. Negroes are on YouTube talking negative about Oprah and this guy, knowing that before Oprah and this guy came on the scene, who was running the slave sex trade? China and America. Why are you leaning to them? Because Negroes are people who have wronged the Creator. All the time he called them a part of him, they have looked at him and stuck the finger up to God. And continue today. Laughing in each other's faces, lying and deceiving the mass to do evil and wicked. Sticking their finger up to Yah. So what happens? Mel Gibson stepped in. When he made the Passion of the Christ, that was a stab in the back to anybody who knew anything about Christ. Christ is the power. But because 99 point trillion don't know nothing about Christ, they think Christ is the son of the flesh. No, Christ is the son of the right hand of the Father that came down to assist the Son of Man, born of the flesh. But see, they don't know nothing about that. Nobody knows nothing about it because Yah hasn't given you the spirit to understand spirit and truth. So the only thing he suffered you to get is what you were in heaven. A lie. You came down here a lie. You were created to be and represent a lie. That's why you can teach people all these things that have to do with their flesh to make them think they somebody. And they don't have the sense to realize, wait a minute, this is not lining up with spirit. So this can't be right. They don't see that. They can't discern that. Okay? So here I am. I got all these calls coming in and I'm trying to finish this. Mel Gibson is also a setup. He's going up against the black people because of this movie called Sound Freedom. This Sound Freedom don't have nothing to do with nobody black, y'all. This is what the Europeans been doing since the beginning of the time. They were doing this before 400 years, y'all. It's just y'all too ignorant to see it. The Roman Catholics been doing this ever since then. Y'all don't want to see it. Y'all ain't gonna see it. You rather get on this devil platform and look at me like I'm stupid. And I'm telling you spirit and truth, and you would rather believe a lie. But that's okay for you to believe a lie. You know why? Because you came down here as a liar. Only thing that supports you and energizes you and feeds you is a lie. Okay? So, Simone is gone, and they called her GOAT. There's, let me explain to the GOAT is one of the characteristics for the power that bees on the earth. That's one of their symbols, the GOAT. So they label this black girl that's out here by herself, the GOAT. And I think if nobody stand up and say nothing, that also makes me understand what the Father say. They are of the world, and they don't see nothing wrong with the way the world is conducting wicked and evil, because they are a part of it. That's why they don't say anything. Now, what I did learn from the Most High was all of these black women that's marrying these white men. I'm knowing these white men are clean cut, look like they not professional, but clean cut, decent white men. But the women that they are choosing, I'm trying to understand. You see them all over the YouTube and Facebook, but mainly YouTube, having a page as a family. The Father was showing me that's a part of the tainted spirit that's trying to manipulate the world to think that white men and black women are now coming as one. The father was showing me, he said, you know the Mays, they got millions of subscribers. They've been on here for years. When someone asked and said that, are they really married? I always said, I noticed that Korean guy never put his hands on her. He never touched her in a loving way, in a intimate way, or a wifely way, nothing whatsoever. To him, the way he deal with his wife is as she's nasty and he's clean. Honestly, all you have to do is watch it and you see. So I always say she have the babies, and she's having the babies for the media. And the media has paid her and him to do this role as a interracial. So what the father was saying, a lot of it is paid to throw the country off balance. It's not real. They're not really feeling each other. The black women are so used to not having anything, when they grip these white men that don't know it's a trick of the trade that's involved, then they thinking they got something, and they feeling that they can just let loose and be the way that they are. But what he showed me is, if you see how the women conduct themselves and how the men, the European, conduct themselves, total different. And it's not because the European is better and the black women are trifling. It's because they want the world to always see really who we are. And our black women plays the role of being trifling to the utmost in everything that they do, the things that they're saying, the way they conducting themselves, very trifling. No integrity, no morals, no dignity about themselves. But he was telling me it's a part of what is actually taking place in this hour. So that leads me to understand, what do really love have to do with it? Now, we know back in the days, they did have interracial marriages. And that there are, back in Torah, about people going into the Israel and the tribe of Judah, that they are not to intertwine or get married to other nationalities. But what you got to understand, what he was trying to do is bring the Messiah down. He did not want the Messiah to come down through different nationalities. He wanted it to come down the way he had orchestrated. So he did not want the bloodline to be tainted at any time, because he wanted to bring the bloodline down the lineage. Now, what he's saying is, he never is going to ever be caught up in mixed races. That's the flesh. He said what we don't understand is he's separate from the flesh. So the things that we find pleasure and joy and humor and righteous in is the flesh. Even though it can be 100% unrighteous, unjust, and not right, but we find pleasure in the flesh. So we out to only please the flesh and not the spirit. So what he's saying is, because we live this lie continually, this is the way he allowed it to continue. Okay, so when I was looking at these Korean and these Chinese men marry these black, I'm looking at it and saying, why do the black women have to dress like that? Why do their hair have to be like that? Why do they have to not wash their hands, make themselves look like they have integrity and morals? They always play the role as the slave. And when I say as the slave, as someone that's doing all the labor of what the man should do and how the man should perform, and the men stand on the sideline. So one lady that's in China, but she come from Africa, Uganda, I don't know which part it was. She has married this Chinese man, and they live in Africa, in the country part of Africa. And as she's filmed all the time, she's an excellent cook. She be making all these Chinese meals, and she's so perfect at it, y'all. So I'm saying, who is that filming behind her? How does she got all these millions of subscribers? How is she going through all this? And then I noticed the way she dressed. I'm like saying, why is it they make them dress like that? Clothes falling off of her, sleeves all like this here, just don't care about how they look. And I notice all of these that's on this YouTube, they got a page. Why do the women look slowful? Why is it they not taking care of themselves? Why do you get on there? Why do you have a weave if you didn't go somewhere professional to have it, if you making it a TV show? I don't understand. Why do these women have to? It's just one black girl. She married this kind of tall, real tall white man, and he's kind of red, beardish and everything. And everything about her, she used to dance for a stripper, and everything about her is so nasty and so trifling. I sit there and watch her take her hand and stuff running down her whole, and then do all like this and wipe it on her. I just see these things that these women are doing. Even May, she got millions of subscribers, but she'll walk out in China and in different states and different countries with her breast just hanging out and her baby sucking off of it, filming. And her clothes always slouchy and hanging off of her and showing her whole belly after she just had a baby. But she walking around with a bikini on or Daisy Dukes. I'll be trying to figure it out. And the Father revealed to me the time I have not been on here that these people are sold their souls out. They have already sold out, meaning this is the direction they were predestined for. That's why it was easy for them to step in. So when you think you're on this devil platform thinking you doing it up and you got all these subscribers and all these likes, and you don't. I ain't gonna say don't, because y'all say you already think you are. A lot of them think they high and mighty. They think they in there. They think cause people liking them, subscribing, they in. Baby, you just don't understand. You in the world, and the world loves its own. You start speaking spirit and truth. You start telling the spiritual mission of the Father from the Ruach HaKodesh. You watch them people drop off and leave your tail. They'll leave your tail as quick as you started. You look up, all of them be gone, because they want your mouth to speak on the things that feeds their flesh. So what happened was, he was showing me amongst all these black women marrying these white men, and he was showing me that is tainted. It's something in there, and it's just like how they approve this weed. A lot of people running around here smoking this weed, and they don't see nothing wrong with it. They looking at it as legal. Why is it Negroes don't understand that stuff has been laced with biochemicals? Why is it they have not gripped that this country is not making this overnight free for you without lacing it? If they are lacing our food, what ignorant Negroes, let me not say it like that, don't grip it? Because we are a people that's gone mentally. We don't grip nothing in righteousness. We make wrong right and stand on these devil platforms and think we something, because we can get on this devil platform and say, I got this, I got this, I got this. We building this, we growing this, we growing it. Y'all said, if they had any sense, they'd go back to the instructions and direction. And here, Yeshua say, in the end days, they're going to be planting and building. That's letting you know they're going to be doing something to make them think they're righteous, but really they're going to be unrighteous. Praise the mighty God. And he identified like the days of Noah. In spite of what they think they're doing, hey, I'm coming to destroy. Praise the mighty God. That's what I'm talking about, Father, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. See, they thinking they can deceive you at great numbers, and you're going to follow them, and they all in there because they can look at you and tell you, I'm doing this, see what I got. And God, y'all is saying, wait a minute, they got what they got for them and theirs. I ain't never tell them to build, to grow, to do this in the land of their captives, to where they can supply for themselves. I thought I was your supplier. And just because you're building this take you from who I am, because you think this is about you. You get on this devil platform and you show people that, hey, look what I got. Look what I'm doing. This is what I'm building. This is what I have. Y'all said that's you chasing your flesh and your flesh only. Okay. So he wanted me to know there is something going on with the black women marrying these white men. There is a wrong thing. And this is how he got me. So this black lady that married this Chinese man, they just went back to Africa, but they got right back to the China. I don't think that her husband really enjoyed being in Africa. But this particular one, about a month ago, I saw his shirt and it had a rabbit on it. So a couple of days ago, I saw a different shirt and it had a rabbit on it. I said, Father, there that rabbit go again. I say, Shaq had a TV show Every shirt he had on it was a rabbit. He said that's those who are sold out. He said they're sold out to wicked and evil. And how you know them is based on, you'll see stuff like that on them because they're showing who they represent. They don't know the power, that the wicked power, that's how high level it is. They just thinking, oh, they give us these shirts, they want us to wear them, and that's that. Just like Simone, she's with that uniform now, and it shows the goat. And they label her now, not as Simone, but as the goat. Now, why would she even let them label her like that? See? Why would you want them to label you as the goat? Because they own you now. They own you in a way you don't own yourself. Because not only did you sell out from Yah, you sold out from anything regarding who you are. They own you now. That's why they forced her back in. And she should have said no, but she can't. They own her. Just like Beyonce, Oprah, them, y'all think they can just get up and get out. No, Oprah had to have a school for the pedophiles and for them to have those children. She didn't have no other choice. Either that or die. That's why she can go over in Africa and do it. She was doing it to hide it. Because you all running y'all tails talking about Africa. I felt so good to hear a couple of people who stay in Africa said that's the worstest place where all the voodoo, the wicked, and the dark magic and evil has always rested in. These people praise wicked and Satanism. They worship that sort of stuff. And you run around here talking about that's your homeland. Take your tail on over there, because that's what you acting like over here. Okay, now, what else? The Father want me to let you know, never let nobody tell you to prepare. Women, don't let nobody ever tell you to prepare your flesh for marriage. Don't let nobody tell you to prepare your flesh for a man. Let me tell you why. What the men are today is the last thing you need to try to prepare yourself for. See, they didn't know. The men do not know that when Yah said a man should leave his mother and cling to his wife, because his wife's going to have exactly what he needs to complete himself. Her womb, okay? Her connection with Yah. Yah only going to bring a woman that loves him and a man that loves him into one unity. That's equally yoked. He ain't bringing a man and a woman, a man is chasing a virgin. Y'all know that it's not in the flesh of a virgin. If this virgin loves Yah, and he's the beginning and the end of her life, the first and foremost, then she is of Yah. Getting a man that is of Yah is the first and foremost before him. And he brings those two. See, what the men are telling you is to not to look at a woman and a man as he making her his, and she got to submit. That's flesh, y'all. That's all in the flesh. Yah is said unequally yoked. She has to be equal. He has to be equal in Yah to be equally yoked. All this mess that's going on these church forums, these people out in these woods, far out in the suburb, not in the country, and all this preparing for a new kingdom on the earth. That's all Satan. That's all set up in Satanism, which not wicked and evil. Let's put it like that. In its highest, because what Yah joined together. So what is Yah? He's spirit. So you have to come out of the flesh realm, and both of you have to be spirit coming together in one unity that Yah joined together. Why would Yah join dark with dark? Why would Yah join light with dark? It doesn't make any sense. So these men that's running around here saying, get you a virgin. And that's all somebody who's going to submit. They talking about all the ways of wicked and evil and flesh. Yah said a man leaves his mother and his father, and he's going to come to this woman. And when he finds that woman, he finds a good thing. Because that woman already been and submitted herself to God, waiting for her husband. And when this husband find her and see that this is a woman submitted to God, she is equal to me, because what? She is equal in Yah. So we come together. He said unequally yoked is when you run around here with two fleshes just coming together. Talking, I'm a king, I'm a leader, I'm a ruler. You a virgin, I want you. That's flesh, y'all. That's flesh. That's all that flesh. That's totally unequally yoked. Equally yoked is when you're first yoking together in Yah. You already yoked and put Yah. Why would he say seek ye the kingdom of Yah first? He's not talking about the men. He's talking about the women too. That's the way they want you to think. That's the way they want you to feel. This is how the power that falls under the power of the Roman Catholic has screwed up the minds, especially of Negroes who know that that is not the way it should have been. And y'all say they were worse than the Roman Catholic, Deborah. So what you got to say now? That's what he was saying to me. They were worse than the Roman Catholic. So what you got to say now? So I'm done on that because I'm on one accord. I'm a living prophetess, not a dead one. I would agree 100% with no doubt. I salute the Father in that. They are worse. The tribe of Judah and the house of Israel are worse than the Roman Catholic. They are worse because the Roman Catholic doing it under the evil power. The tribe of Judah and the house of Israel are doing it against the Creator. Who's the worst? Tell me. The one who has wronged the Father is the worst of the worst. Okay? Y'all don't get that because it went over your head because you flesh. But he was just showing me how women are not to be preparing yourself for the flesh of man. He said, seek ye the kingdom first. He talking to you two women. He ain't telling you let the man seek me and you seek him or he seek you. No. You first seek the kingdom of Yah first. And if you sit and you're tarrying and seeking the kingdom of Yah and letting the kingdom teach you, then you wait, then Yah, because of you are patient and trusting in him, he'll send a man out of his own heart that seeks him first to come and join in and be yoked equally with you. If not, hear this, I'm going to say it real slow. Yah has nothing to do with bringing darkness to darkness together. That means flesh to flesh together. So all this polygamy and all this many wives, y'all ain't got nothing to do with that. Those are those who are born of the flesh. He that is born of the spirit is seeking a wife that's born of the spirit. That's equally yoked because he is of the spirit. That's why all the marriage turned out the way that it turned out. I like to say to you all, I really feel sad for you all not knowing that. But that's the reason why marriage didn't turn out. They were always unequally yoked. They weren't a marriage that was yoked in the eyes of Yah to come together in spirit, in unity. So while y'all running around here thinking and hearing them justify woman putting them out and getting welfare, the men never met the obligation of the men never met the obligation of Genesis chapter 1. They never met it. That's why they couldn't stay in the houses. They never would want to work. They never did provide. They got in the houses molesting the children, males and females, and this is what you see today. You hear the old heads, older than I, crying out what their daddy and their uncle them did to them, and their uncle brother and their father's brother and granddaddy, how they raped them. And when you hear the stories coming out of the tribe of Judah in the house of Israel, it is a sight to see, to hear. And then you wondered, okay, Father, what's going on with this? He said, when they done it to me, Deborah, they have done it throughout. They don't care who they do it to. He said, when you all have wronged him and did wicked against him, you would do it to each other. That's why you're running around here killing each other, destroying one another, and don't even see the war that you have set for yourself. In the house of Israel and tribe of Judah, they didn't set a war for themselves that's off this chain. We're going to get into that. Now, so he wants you to know that don't be preparing for no flesh of no man. Yah is the preparer. He is the only one that know how to bring equally yoke together. No flesh of a nasty, loudmouth pastor, bishop, apostle, priest, Maureen, and seers. No loudmouth man of a pastor, bishop, Maureen, seer, priest, watchman can tell you what to search. I mean, not what to search for or what a woman should be Why? Because y'all call it equally yoked. And what do you mean, Father? Y'all, come on, say it. Say it so I'll tell them. Equally yoked mean in the spirit. If that man ain't put y'all first and that woman ain't put y'all first before they seek one another, before that man seek her, then they're not equally yoked. So all these marriages they telling you about divorce, they need to sit their tails down. A marriage that's not equally yoked is not considered a marriage in the eyes of my Father, Yahuwah. It's no such thing. Ahia said to you over and over and over, you cannot worship nor serve him in the flesh. You're born of the flesh. Stay over there in the lane of the flesh. Only time you can worship him is when you are born of the spirit. That's going back to equally yoke. You have did the order of the Father, and now he finds a good thing because she have put Yah first. See all this other man-made spirit mess in here? When you're taught by the Ruach HaKodesh, let me tell you something. He had to drag me into the wilderness to teach me. Because if not, I'll be hearing all y'all mess and agreeing with y'all mess. But the wilderness hold a special place in the Yah's heart where he know he can show up and show out in. Okay? So I thank him for that being my teacher. Things going in y'all's way. And y'all wanted me to let y'all know ain't nothing going Satan's way. The devil, the Antichrist, the false prophets, the heathens, the Gentiles. Sit y'all nasty, ugly mouths down. Nothing exceed over his power. How you like him now? I know you never thought to read or to go in the scriptures and study what it says in the instruction book, in the direction book. Read. Pull up right hand. Pull up stretched out arm so you'll know what he's talking about. Nobody rules over that. Everything is on time with the hour in which Yah has set. Satan can't override what's going on. Demons can't override what's going on. The fallen angels, the Nephilims, all this old bull crap, the tribe of Judah and the house of Israel keep wanting to teach their people. Sit y'all ugly mouths down and stop trying to over-succeed my Father's power. Because you missed it in Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis 2. You never knew who Christ was, nor the power therein. Okay? You're selling off your mouth as the power. Your mouth ain't got nothing on the power of my Father's right hand and his stretched out arm. Sit down, clowns. Okay. And he wants you to know, Satan and all of them, they follow his orders. He don't know what you think you're doing. He said no light is found in the people. Never prepare. Songs for wickedness. People are singing songs, he say, for wickedness and for wickedness reasons. They think singing is really doing something. He said they ain't singing nothing but to flesh. It's when you're able to receive the anointed to reach beyond the flesh that's in the presence of you. The flesh that's in the audience. The flesh any and everywhere. And he wants you to understand that you are succeeding beyond, way beyond singing to him. You sing it all everywhere. People think they singing. You ain't singing to y'all. You singing to the flesh of man. Sit down somewhere. Okay? Yeah. He said that there's, in the YouTube, they open a lot of platforms for mixed race when it's talking about mixed race. He said that's a part of the power that bees, that rules the world. They want to get people to see things the way they want them to see it. So they allow all of this to be portrayed in the media and on YouTube so you can get used to what they are trying to do to start really a lot of things going on. And they're trying to stop let me tell you what he said. They're trying to also stop the tribe of Judah from producing by allowing mixed race to come in, to where when the war began, the mixed race is going to remain on the European side. Even the black men that marries white women. They're going to remain on the European side because they're going to think that they're equal. And the women, the black women, going to think that they're equal to their counterparts of their black white husband. And they're going to learn when this war starts, it's going to keep the numbers of Judah producing more and more children, because they know that they have to be able to defeat Judah in this end game. Okay, they know that. And what do I mean by that? The end game, as printed or as spoken in Deuteronomy 28 verse 19, 28 and verse 19 all the way down to 62, I think. It talk about in verse 19 that you come in cursed, you're going to leave out cursed. So if you're thinking that you're leaving out of here delivered, you ain't. You just been a fool for these men teaching. That's how they leading you. You see how they say, we the leader, we the ruler, we the king, and they've been leading you in darkness all this time. Since the beginning of time have men led the people in darkness. And that's what it says in in Isaiah chapter 3, where it says, and the women's going to lead the children that going to bring oppress to the household. Women going to have to rule over that. And that's why women are having a hard time, because they having to rule over these monsters in which these men have created and has caused them to err. You see, they have caused them to err, and then they try to jump down. See the women ruling over them. They telling y'all it in the flesh. They ain't showing you the true message in spirit and in truth. They won't teach you that like that. They won't teach you. Go back to it and read it. He's telling you the children is going to oppress the parents, and the mothers shall rule, because in there it's telling you women through the Ruach, this is what's happening. You're going to have to raise those darn monsters that their father left. And he said those that led them, which their birth fathers, have caused them to err and left them with the mothers to have to rule over all that oppress that the children is bringing to the household. That is a living witness. That verse right there is a prophecy if you don't find them. And then he went on and said, and those that have led them. He talked about the princes. He ain't talking about women. Has caused them to err. He's talking about the fathers. Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all women, y'all have let these men die with so much wicked and evil. They call wicked and evil good and righteous. And righteous evil. And you all are sucking it in and sucking it out in what they saying and what they believe in. Okay? Now, what he also is saying, where's my other paper? It is finished. He goes back to me telling me, it's finished, Deborah. So, I know you're going to be seeing things, and you are seeing things. But every time you see it, remember what I said. It is finished. So, I'm saying to you, those that are relaxed. I'm not talking to y'all who walking in the flesh and thinking it's about you. Okay? He's saying to the elects, he said it's finished. So don't overwork yourself thinking you're going to say something, you're going to do something, you're going to prove his word, you're going to stand on his word, you're going to stand on the mountain and proclaim it. He said it's finished. That means no more what you say and what you do, how righteous you speak, how just you speak, how you stand on the mountain and show your light. He said it's finished. That means those who are in the books that's going to the lake of hell, they were in there before they came down here. Those who are in the book of life, they were in there before they came down here. So therefore, it is not your strength nor your might that's going to bring them in based on what you say or what you do. It is finished. Okay? Because it was finished before it started. And even Satan and his and all demons and fallen angels, all of them know who rules. Stop giving all of them all the glory, said the Most High Yah. He already released the one that was in principality down onto the earth. That's a part of the judgment. You think you rule something? You think you big and bad? You think you got all the guns? You think you got all the gardens? You think you can build and sell? You think you got this? You think you can be on this devil platform portraying that you all this and that with me? But let me tell you something. If you don't see what's coming up on you, you ain't seen nothing yet. So get ready, get ready, get ready. Because Yah is going to allow everything he have allowed to step into revelation. It's going to come to your door. It's going to come right before you. And those that are full of strong delusion, he said, hold up. Keep on rolling the way you rolling. It's coming to you first. And see, that's what I be trying to tell these people. It's over for you. You can stand on this devil platform and plant, sell, build, feast, speak Torah, speak whatever you want. You ain't got nothing coming. Because this thing is strictly spirit and truth. It ain't about what you teach it. It ain't not what you believe. It is not what your flesh teach. It's not your flesh wisdom. It's not your flesh knowledge. It's not your flesh understanding. And it's not your flesh emotions and your feelings. That's all witchcraft and sorcery when your feelings get all in it. Because you're trying to use your feelings to make somebody believe you something and that you ain't. But y'all say your feelings going to be tested by the fire. Okay? So he's saying that y'all knew in Adam picked in the garden. When he put Adam in the garden, he knew it didn't have no connection to Eve. All that was planted there to make you think it was the lady. That the Father said when he said it was not good, he knew what he was saying. So you all lied. And the Roman Catholic have smeared the instructions and direction book. That's why we need the Holy Spirit. We need the Holy Spirit. Oh, he's saying that what you see out here is a lot of Negro men shooting. Young, 12 on up to elderly. They're shooting, killing, stealing, murdering, all kind of things. And he said, when you see them preaching, call themselves on a pulpit, you see them call themselves leading the mass, leading these people on this YouTube, and ain't talking about what their males are doing, but telling males, you a king, you a leader, you a ruler, get her submissive, and always out of their mouth talking negative about a woman. Y'all said it's because they are of the flesh. The wicked in their hearts, it's not only in their minds, but it's in their heart to make sure the tribe of Judah is continuing doing wicked and evil at its highest. Now, what I'm seeing now is a lot of people uplifting how black men and women are conducting themselves toward white people. You all, Matthew 24:7 is fulfilling. You always was talking about the purge. The purge is coming. The Walking Dead has already took its course. It's already present. But you see, the purge is taking its place. You need to go back, watch the movie 20 million times till you grip that this is going to be the reality right now. See, while y'all thinking that as long as you got a little money in your pocket, you got a little job, you got the way to working back, oh, I'm good and I'm good. Y'all don't mean nothing to them. You ain't done nothing with it but to satisfy your flesh. That's all you done. That's how you build up your treasures on the earth, through your flesh. You ain't got nothing promised for the heavens because you ain't got nothing coming. He said where your heart is where your wealth is. And if you think that your heart and your wealth is about what you got on the earth and how you got to support everything for you and me and mine, those are people who don't depend on Yah. That's why they can't be successful. That's why they can't get the things that they need. That's why they stay sick, stay in the hospital. Oh, I'm dying. This wrong with me. This wrong. That's why. You done sold out just like Simone and don't know it. You thinking you're faking it till you make it. Y'all see you. There's so many people are claiming so many illness, but don't have a sacrifice to build up for a deliverance from the heaven. They want to tell him, bless me, heal me, this, and y'all sitting here saying, heal you for what? What have you done to represent my kingdom? Nothing. You go up against everything that I send down there to work with you, to teach you, to guide you, to show you the way. Stay your tail in the broad gate where you need to go, because that's your way. Stay your tail sick, ill, and living day after day, after penny, and y'all ain't delivering you out of what you in. Stay your tail in that broad gate. That's which way you need to go. So he was saying that all of these lawsuits that white men are pulling up, like women who have Johnson & Johnson products. We know that's a black product. Johnson & Johnson product. We know chemicals, perms, that product. Look at the big lawsuit around this country on these items. Y'all say, you foolish women, this is geared to black women only and black men, but basically black women. And look how foolish y'all are. All of them on all your websites, your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, your Twitter, everybody's talking about, if you had permed your hair, you put the chemicals in there, you now can inherit through the lawsuit. Guess what, baby? You be lucky if they give you $10. It's all about the heathens and the Gentiles collecting money, making you think they working on your behalf. You think they gonna really give you something? No, they not. The more numbers they have to petition, the greater it is. You talking maybe probably something like 500 million they would get with this perm thing. With Johnson & Johnson, 500 million. They'll give you crumbs. It's going to make you look foolish for even signing up to it. But notice these are about black women. Perms, black women. Johnson & Johnson, a black product. You see, if you develop this. Now the heathens that use Johnson & Johnson powder, guess what? They're going to make sure they know the difference of the heathens that sign in versus the black. Black people, I'm going to say this here to you Negroes. You have wronged the Father so many ways. To the Father wants you to know he's going to make sure you are destroyed. In Deuteronomy 28. That's the end game of you. Because this is why they take advantage of you 24/24. It's because you have wronged the Creator after he has chosen you, pampered you, called you his babies, led you, guided you, brought you out of every situation possible. Here you are in the 400 years now. You going to pass the 400 years still. Why? Because you all lied on him and you all run around here want to teach Torah and don't know a rat's behind about Deuteronomy 28, a part of Torah that says you're going to be destroyed. You don't want to teach the word, and there's no reason you need to teach it now, he said. The Father want me to let you know it's finished. It's nothing you can teach, preach, or minister to anybody. See, a lot of people think they can pick up what Sister Deborah said and go reteach it and repreach it. No, a lot of people running around giving visions and dreams of stuff that don't mean anything because they don't understand. Y'all, it's not called up in you giving visions and dreams to warn the heathens and Gentiles. That's the mentality to me that lets me know that these are not prophets, y'all. These are not prophets of the Most High Yah. The Most High Yah is not sending prophet to warn the heathens and Gentiles of what they are doing. They've been doing it since the day their forefathers stepped on the earth. They are not sending visions to warn the United States. He is not sending visions to warn the Christians. He is not sending visions in the late hour to warn. So people who are giving you visions and dreams, I sit back and I watch how they have orchestrated this thing, just like Jay-Z and Kanye and all of them have done with the media. They get a little taste of being seen and they go off the total cliff. And it becomes their own set mind of this is the Most High Yah. Yah gives a rat's behind about prophecies that has to warn the world when the warning has been already in the instructions and direction book, and it is backed up and backed down by the Ruach HaKodesh. What are you here talking about? What are you trying to warn the Christians? What are you trying to warn the Roman Catholics? They looking at you say you just as stupid. You following us and we didn't even ask you to follow us. You doing the things for us that we don't have to do. A lot of people don't know that. You are supporting Satan 100. And you don't have no problem doing it. And you're doing it because you're getting a little something. You're looking forward to something. That's why you cannot fulfill the will of the Father. Because the will of the Father ain't in you. You're trying to fulfill the will of your flesh. So you can get something right now. You ain't worried about tomorrow or heaven. That's why nobody wants to give He said, you give unto a prophet, you receive a prophet reward. What stupid person that's in spirit and truth would not do that? One that lives in the flesh, calling themselves spirit and truth. They're faking it, trying to make it. If you are of the spirit, you're going to support he that is of the spirit. And how do you support? Give to support for your gifts in heaven. All the things that Yeshua said to the angels, that they were inheriting the heaven because they gave to one another, because they were all of the spirit that represent righteous. So people thinking they hurting you, or, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do, you don't bother me. You don't hurt me not one bit, baby. I know the word of truth. I just feel that, hey, wait a minute now, Father, if they don't give into a prophet, what's there? See, that's how stupid people are. Y'all is checking you out, saying, look at this individual who think that I don't see him. So what? Sister Deborah ain't going to see him. I see him from heaven. Do they really think that I'm going to support them in the things that they doing and the things that to come? And they haven't supported minds that I sent down there to feed them spirit and truth. I was looking at Darby. That's why I post his name. I said, Father, you've been telling them, Father, look in the Bible, the instructions and directions. The Ruach will come and bag that thing up and bag it down. He already told you. But that is so hard for people because they think they can manipulate. They think they can fake it. And they don't understand where your heart is. It's in your flesh. It is not in spirit and truth. Okay? The Father said music is coming out in great force to deceive you. There has been 2 videos that I have drew you all to. Try that in a small town, and when we put the flag, come join us. A lot of Negroes don't understand. They think they doing something because they fighting back. I see men, especially black men, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, out here hitting white men and white women. Now, what they don't understand, that same anger, y'all don't see you righteous. If somebody say something to you and you haul off and hit them, you think that that person is righteous? You all is showing that the tribe of Judah is so sick. You are so sick. Now, they putting all over the media this boat where these white people jumped on this black guy. Then all those black people came in. But see, what y'all don't understand, let me whip it on you. Black people are in the United States 13%. White people are 60%. If white people kill up 20% of theirs, okay, and let's say black people kill up 20% of their 13, what is that telling you? You ain't got nothing to fight with. This is how sick our black men are. You done killed and caused your own army to kill one another, to get locked up, to be in this homosexual stuff, been raping your children, your daughters, your sons. You done messed up your household way long, said the Father. Way over in the promised land, you done messed up your family, and you run over here and try to justify why you got cursed over here. And he said, instead of coming to the light, you went more and more deeper in the dark, and you're still deceiving your own nation. So I tell you what, hold up. You're in the midst of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. You want a war, you're going to get it. You think that your 13% and you done killed up 20% of it, so you got something like 3%, 4% left. You think you're going to be able to war up against somebody who killed 20% of theirs, and they have 60%. They still got 40% left. They're going to whoop your tail. You wants to play, and you played with me all these years. I brought you into the curse so you can see the light at the end. You refuse, you reject, you curse the curse, you denied, you profane my name, you disrespected me, you dishonor me, and you stand even in the day of darkness, still destroying your own nation. I tell you what, you think you got enough weapons? Pull up into Isaiah chapter 3 and 25. See if you beat the sword and the war, you mighty men. Pull up in Deuteronomy 28 and go on down to the end game, starting from 19, verse 19. Show me how I'm going to destroy you. See if you're going to pull up and defeat that. Y'all done got so many things in Isaiah and Ezekiel, Jeremiah, telling these Negro tribe of Judah and the house of Israel, but basically the tribe of Judah, I'm going to tear your tail up. So you want to be mighty, huh? You want to be king, ruler. You want to be head. You want people to submit. Okay, see what you're going to be submitted to. Because you thinking, and y'all laughing out there, Negroes, this shows me. It don't show you. It show the prophet in the wilderness how gone you are. You so far gone, you don't even see death at your door. You thinking that these white people are standing by letting y'all fight at great numbers against their people. They standing back preparing. So when they shoot back on your tail, they wrong gonna be right in their own eyes. But guess what? They coming back for those who are innocent as well as those who have the set mind to think that they can defeat them. You cannot win the Gentiles and the heathens. You cannot win. It's nothing you have that can defeat when they come to your camp. Nothing. And don't think they ain't coming. Because y'all say you wants to be a God. You wants to be head. You wants to be ruler. You wants to be leader. You wants to be a king. You have set the minds of the people to lead and be up under you. I tell you what, we coming. I'm letting it open, the gate open, and I'm going to let them out. And they coming straight for you. You all didn't even know that, you people. Y'all didn't know that's how it's going to end. And those that has been marked, because the angel have marked them, they ain't going to be able to touch them. And the majority of those are going to be women. All you have to do is look at Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25. Only men that are going to be left is those he going to seal with holiness. That means those who was marked to be holy. That's why the women said, give me that same name you got. It's called holy. It's not the flesh of a man, y'all. This is what y'all is disappointed about. Y'all have sat around and let these men without opening it up your mouth. He said the reason why you didn't open up your mouth because you are for them when you should have been against them. You should have been for y'all, not these men. And since you have chosen to be for them, watch how it pan out. And I sit back and I said, but Father, you got it already prophesied. You got it prophesied, Father. Y'all in Matthews. You got it prophesied in Mark, Luke, and John. Father, you got it backed up by Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah. What is it they don't see? What is it about Deuteronomy endgame they don't see? He said they ain't gonna see. I ain't looking for them to see. It's over. The game is over. Satan obeys me more than they do. They want a ruler, you want a king, you want a leader, I'm going to let you be that. See how you get defeated. When that army come out for you, I'm not standing with you. Only one coming with me is mine. Praise the mighty God. So you go out here and y'all focus on flesh things, you are of the flesh. So if you focus on spiritual things, then you are the spirit. But if your mindset is focused on flesh, don't go trying to work your fakeness to think and to portray your flesh to represent spirit, because it ain't there. Because y'all will try you at what everything you have and see where you stand. I was just talking to this man, and like I said, I call him a young man, but he's my age. You know what him and I was talking about? We was talking about how important it is. He was so happy. He was like, oh, it feels so good to hear you saying what you're saying, because I don't think black people mind is there. I said it's not, because I've said it several times. People don't even understand. I told him they don't understand. If I get 6 to 10 acres, I'm going to set up for anybody that I know to come out to stay, to live, to see if it's something they're interested in. If they're not interested in, they can go back. But to see if they want to reside there until y'all come. If they don't, that's on them. But people who do not and don't see their way walking with a prophetess that's talk, speak, and listen to spirit and truth, that carries the light with her everywhere she go. If you can't see fit to go in that direction, that's on you. I know I'm going to get there. And he was talking about that. If I get there, will I consider him? Yes, I will. Because I've known him for a long time. My sister's best friend, my oldest sister's best friend, that's her brother. He been with our family for a long time. Me and him worked at the prisons for years. And he's remained there. I think he stayed there for like 17 years. And he been a minister. And he trained people how to use weapons. He's a trainer, a gun trainer. And he said, Boobs, that's all I want is land to live. He said, I want to grow. He's a deer hunter. He hunts. I didn't know he said he'd been hunting for years. He said, I got a lot of toys. He said, man, he was explaining to me that having weapons, don't let nobody tell me it's for the kill. When I'm in my house, it's there to warn. If they come up on me, facing me, then it's time. But he said, use it as a warning. And if that don't work, and they coming for me, I have every right. So he's going to teach me more classes. I've had a couple of, he's going to teach me more classes. He's going to teach me how to use different ones. And this is not, he said, never, he said, all of his, he loves it because he used it for hunting. He do every kind of hunting, but I never knew he talked like that. He said last year he got 6 deers, nice size. I said, you kidding? He said he used a bow and arrow, everything. So I think that's really good. That's really good. And he's also a gun trainer, so he got all kinds. He said, I got so many, Boob, I got to show you. So I'm just saying to you all, I feel good knowing that. And he said he felt good just talking to me, knowing that I had that type of mindset. I said, no, I'm not looking to go out here and get this land for myself. I'm looking to take everybody that's in the light that feel that they want to be able to come out and live in that type of environment. And they pick their own little section, and this will be your section. Like this will be my little yard and my section. Then if you want to go way 2-3 acres down, you can. That's what I see. So when I'm talking about getting land, I'm not talking about me, and mine's. Because I don't give a rest behind if now one of my children come. That's just how made up mind that I have. This is what I'm saying. So when Sister Deborah is saying donating, a lot of people thinking she's talking about taking care of her. Baby, you got to understand. Let me tell you, y'all gonna laugh. Y'all gonna laugh at this. Let me give y'all a little testimony of what happened. 2 days ago, I had a dream about my mother. My mother is 87. And in this dream, I was coming to her house because she stayed by herself. And I was just in the living room. I was looking, and she had died. So everybody was coming in, and I was coming to her house. And I went into her living room, look around. And I said, let me go in her bedroom. So when I got in her bedroom, there my mama appeared. My mother appeared in her bedroom. And she said, Booby, here, I got something to give you. I'm like, wait a minute, you died. What you doing in here? She went over to her dresser drawer, and she took a folded up pair of her underclothes. And she said, see, this is my underclothes. And yeah, they clean. Here, put these on. That's what she said. And I reached for the underclothes, raised up one of my right feet, I can remember, to put my leg in it, and my mother disappeared. My mother is telling me that I'm getting ready to leave. I need you to take the torp. I need you to, the baton. And that's the only thing I can see with that. She's getting ready to leave, and she's telling me, please, take the baton. The baton to my mother is the family. Keep them together for me. Please, put on my underclothes. Now, the underclothes work is the undergarment. Okay? And for her to give me a pair of her underclothes, that is to take on a part of her which allowed them to still feel her through me. So that's what I got out of it, and I kind of felt sad, but then I also thought about, the only reason why I came back to Missouri is to spend the rest of my mother's time here. Anything happened to my mother, I feel that I will be out of here. I would be out of here like a blink of an eye. And when she said to do that, that kind of made me feel sad, because I'm like, I'm out. Mama, anything happen to you, I'm out of here. And I thought about the underclothes. How can I really fit into her underclothes? Or get her underclothes and put it on. And my in the vision, I was in a dream. It was a dream. I was putting my right feet into her underclothes to put them on, and looked up at her, and she was gone. But I couldn't see myself. I'm glad that the dream ended with me picking up my feet to put my feet in the underclothes. It never showed me completely putting the underclothes on, because my whole idea, if anything happened to my mother, I'm out of here. I got a lot of family here, but I am out. I mean, I'm leaving kids, everything, and I'm going out onto some land or in the woods, and that's where I'm gonna live, y'all. Sister Deborah, that's my desire. And let me tell you something. Only thing I think about is the snakes, but then I think about what the Father said. If it's you and me in there, that's something you ain't gonna ever have to worry about. So I just thank the Father for having given me an idea of not to be running and escaping the inner cities and the I'm not in the inner cities, but still, or the suburbs or whatever, but wanting to just be in the midst of his presence, in the woods or in just land, and just living out in the country away from everybody, and it's not so much as getting away from everybody, but getting that peace of mind, that humbleness with Yah, that I could serve. And just, when I say serve, is just keep calling on him and see those things I used to see. I told y'all I used to can fly. I am serious. I used to can fly up. It's things that I know I used to can do when I was young. And I think the last time I flew up, I was 36. And I went out of the side window of the house. They had a Easter egg